Right. This down. All right. Hello, Twitter family. I told you guys I would be back. Okay. I'm definitely appreciating and benefiting from my Twitter engagement. Let's make sure I got my volume up. You guys, this won't be um, a long video because there's not a whole lot I have to say about it, but I am going to be making a response very quickly, very briefly to the content creator that goes by Black Man Unfiltered. Um, yes, so I'm going to be just giving a very short synopsis of some things to consider during their future conversations. We all know, hey, I am here. I'm here in letters as per usual. We have a lot going on, y'all, right now. It's Ski Week. When is there not a lot going on? Okay, this is one of our busiest active seasons. Um, it's going to be this way until we go on break. So for anyone that knows or may not know how it works in these Black Greek letter organizations, we be working. Okay, we are on the clock all the time, and we get a short break in the summer. And by break, I mean we still working, but a few less meetings just to get prepared for the next thing going on. It is a lifetime of service and commitment, and I absolutely love it. Look, it's working over this way. So I am going to do a very, very short and probably one of the last ones you're going to get from me, because how many times have I done this? How many times have I said some things? I'm going to try to go places that I haven't gone before to at least help some of you all. I'm not the one struggling. So you see the title, Greek letters, okay? We're going to keep it there. I don't have the patience, okay, the time, or the interest in entertaining all of the conspiracy theories. I don't have that, okay? I am not here anyone what I do, whether it's holy, whether it's demonic, whether it's superficial, whether it's that's not my job, okay? It's just not. My job is to uphold my service to all mankind, and I let the world do what the world does, all right? Because the world is going to do what they do, and I need to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm not here to try to change anybody's mind. It's just your opinion. It really doesn't carry much weight. Doesn't stop a show, doesn't stop anything from going on. In fact, in conclusion, I'm going to let you know some of you all are doing us some favors. Oh, yes, you are. You are doing some favors, and I'm going to thank you for that. Okay. But apparently last week or so, one of the content creators over in a certain space, he doesn't like me to call him Black Manosphere or Manosphere, ever adjacent, the guys, okay, the guys over there, they had a topic, and I wasn't able to be there as a guest that night. Well, I was also at a webinar forum considered about regionals and getting prepared for our spring event. So there's that. Okay, so hey, social media is social media. We have real life, okay, and I have to do real life things in real time. All right. Hi, you guys. Let me just really quick. I see you as hello, the beautiful Heidi. It is so good to see you. You know, y'all know what? Every time I come in here, I have to fix this. I don't like those long, you know what I mean, names looking like that. We got my girl Heidi in here with FBO Productions. Heidi, I'm ready for the next episode, girl. I am queued up and ready. Okay, Heidi has produced her own reality show. The production is on point. Girl, I'm seeing it, all right? Once I get that dance routine down, once I get that routine, Heidi, I'm going, you give me permission or the go when you're ready, honey, I'm gonna have to, do those moves because you know how to cast. And I'm still sidebar like, how do you have an eye for casting? Like, how everybody on your cast look good? The odds of everybody being attractive is just kind of like, well, no, that can happen, but it says a lot about your vision. And whoo, honey, but I had my fun. I got my favorite girl. So it's just beautiful, and I'm just loving seeing it all come together. So shout out to FBO Productions. You all better, y'all sleeping on the doll. Y'all gonna be, look, don't be coming back crying when y'all find out this was actually the real deal Holyfield, and that something is big going on. Okay, I'm just saying, ain't nothing dusty and Android recorded over there. The clarity is clarity. The production is productioning. Okay, the wardrobe is wardrobing. The makeup was makeuping. They came in there ready to go. I said, oh, okay. Heidi wasn't wasting 4 hours for people getting makeup done before she started her show. They were ready. The girls were ready, lights, camera, action. That's how you do it. So I wish you very well and blessings on your journey, honey. I'm gonna be right there. Okay, well, I'm waiting on the reunion. I'm gonna be there for the reunion. So just get my ticket together so I can be in the audience, honey. Hi Joyce, I see you. DOD always here. Shout out DC Purple, and okay, whoever else stumbles in. And again, shout out to my Twitter family who are able to now to catch me on Twitter doing a stream. So really quick, because look, I can like I said, it is not my job to convince people of things that just really I don't care. I really don't care what you think, but being week after week, season after season, we have people in our own community, our own Black people, Black and brown people, who instead of believing in the goodness of what we have to offer, our culture, our children, our daughters, our sons, the entire community, and all the razzle dazzle that comes with it, you are to continue to want to demonize things, and I don't understand why you choose to do that. But that's also not my problem. I'm not here to convince you either way. Believe what you want to believe. Think what you want to think. It will not stop no show. Okay? So let's start here. And this is not going to take me long at all. This is going to be quick. I'm going to start with the Greek letter. Now, the other day I went through, because everybody doesn't understand, the Greek alphabet consists of 24 letters, not like our alphabet, 26. And when I was speaking, I only had a few minutes last week to speak because I was doing other commentary, but I added in there for you all to hear the Greek alphabet. I get it. Everyone can't read the Greek alphabet. Why should you? I mean, is that really necessary for your life to know to be enhanced because you know how to read the Greek alphabet? Not for the normal person, but it does for those individuals who use Greek lettering. Okay, there are Greek lettering on my shirt. These very words right here on the shield that I'm wearing are in Greek letters. I know what they say. Others may know what they say and mean. It doesn't matter that you don't know. Is it really necessary? No, it's not. Or, and if you want to learn what it says, go learn the Greek alphabet. So we started with Alpha. All right. Really quickly, I'm going to go through those letters and try not to fumble them, okay? So we have Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, and Omega. I've just given you, yes, through memory, the Greek alphabet. Now, this is what I want to hint on that I didn't get enough time to go into because, like I said, I was on another topic, and this was a random hit the link and ask me some questions. Why use Greek lettering? All right, you guys are coming from a biblical standpoint of demonizing anybody affiliated with using Greek lettering. And I'm going to show you why you're not making any sense. Because I want you all to do better. Hey, Robzilla. I want you all to understand it doesn't make any sense for you to demonize the use of Greek lettering if you're claiming it goes against God. Here's why. Let's start with, who was it that said, I am the Alpha and the Omega? Last I checked, it was Jesus Christ, the Messiah. I'll wait. I just gave you the Greek alphabet from Alpha to Omega. Who started with, I am the Alpha and I am the Omega? The Most High, the Lord of all Lords, Kings of all kings, the Good Shepherd, our Redeemer, our Savior, our God, uses that he is the Alpha and Omega. He is using Greek lettering. Was it demonic when Christ referred to himself as Alpha and Omega? I'll wait. I don't think so. Doesn't make any sense, right? Let's also talk about why demonizing Greek lettering is not going to make any sense. The New Testament, the entire New Testament, the original version, not the translated versions, were done in Greek. It was written in Greek. Words in Greek lettering. That's the entire New Testament. And now it's been transferred a couple times, and here we are now with whatever version you like, but the original New Testament was written in Greek. Yes. Surely you know that, right? Especially reading the Gospel of John. But okay, you all still want to run with demonizing. Hey, Misha. So we started there. So we're at Alpha and Omega. That's our God. He is the Alpha, the first and the last, Omega. Using the first alphabet in the Greek letters and the last. And then everything else he's saying in between, it don't matter. He is the Alpha and the Omega. That in itself says everybody else in the middle is just whatever. Okay, so let's just go ahead and acknowledge that God Almighty is using Greek alphabet. Still waiting for that demon to pop out any minute. If you'll notice my banner and cute Beachy over here, I have a door. Okay, behind that door, we are going to wait. We're going to wait and see if any demons or satanic entities are going to jump out as I speak, okay? Because I don't know what you all are waiting and expecting out of lettering that you just can't read, okay? Doesn't make it evil or demonic. If it does, you're going to have a problem with Christ identifying himself as Alpha and Omega. Now, let's go from there. You should understand at this point, it's not letters, any type of letters. I don't care what it is. It's not letters that demonize people or produce demonic experiences or wicked or nefarious in nature. It's never going to be the letters, y'all. It's the actions of what people are doing. You should be labeling the actions of what you see people are doing. That's what makes and shows demons. It's not going to be lettering. It's the actions. And so it comes off as our own community insists on tearing us down or attempting, slandering your own people over something simple as Greek letters, because that's really all it is. I'm not understanding, and I guess it's just not my place to, but at the very least, you can admit, well, maybe if you just want to know what some stuff say, go learn and read it. You're just going to find out it's the same words, just in Greek. Okay. And then I'm gonna pull up my AI, and she's gonna give you a little 1-2 on what's going on and why Greek lettering was even chosen in the first place. But like I said, you can ask God why He chose. I don't see y'all asking God why He chose Alpha and Omega. But every chance you get, y'all want to remind me or tell me or let that I'm doing something. Okay, make it make sense. I'll wait. Now, so we know the Gospel of John, it was written in Koine Greek. That's irrefutable. Well, I'll be waiting for you all to explain how John was demonic when he wrote in Koine Greek, but you're not going to be able to do that, are you? No, you're not. Nor are you going to be able to contest the original New Testament being written in Greek. You're not going to be able to do that either. You don't have the ability to go back in time and tell folks how to write. You just don't. Completely out of line. Now, when I looked at Revelations 9:16, and before we had the word Christian or Christianity, it started with the word Christos. So the original version in Revelation 9:16, what they referred to Christians, they used the word Christos, and it's spelled Christos. Christos. I'm here to let you know Christos is a Greek word. Yes, it is. Christos came from two Greek words from the Greek alphabet put together, and that was Chi and Rho. Chi and Rho put together, make out the word Jesus. And Jesus Christ is the Messiah. So again, where is the demon there? The original translation of Christianity is Christos. Christos, original translation in Greek, is using Chi and Rho. I just gave you those alphabets. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, ta, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, and omega. So chi's in there. I don't know what letter chi is. And then rho. Chi, rho is how they came up with Christos. And then later Christos was turned into Christian and then Christianity. But it started off as a Greek word. Still waiting for the demon to pop out of the door. I haven't seen, y'all see anything? Correct. So I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm just here to show I need these ministers and self-proclaimed deacons and pastors, when y'all do this talk about Greek letter and Greek alphabet and demonize it, you're talking about God. You're talking about the very Bible you're reading. You're not making any sense whatsoever, and you're actually being contradictory, and it's getting quite blasphemous, to be honest. Because if Alpha is demonic, then we're gonna have a problem with the Most High, huh? I'm gonna just leave that right there. So we've identified New Testament written in Greek. We've identified Christos, the word that was the original translation from Jesus Christ, starting from Chi and Rho. Chi and Rho is what put together makes the word Christos, which would be Christ, Christianity, that would be translated down. We're still in Greek. Okay. Also, Matthew chapter 5. Anybody ever notice when he's talking about the law, and in Matthew 5, somewhere in verse 18, Matthew is talking about the law, and he talks about not one letter or iota. Matt 5:18. Matthew is speaking on the law, and he says not one letter or iota from the smallest letter would not be ignored. Did anybody bother to look up what iota meant? Iota is the tiniest word in the Greek alphabet. Would you like to hear it again? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota. Iota would be the ninth letter in the Greek alphabet, if I'm correct. If I'm off one or two, somebody will fix me in the Greek community. Iota. So here we go, Matthew in chapter 5, he used an iota. Out of all the words that could be used, he chose to use the Greek alphabet, a Greek word, iota. I don't think that was very demonic. I'm not getting I don't know what y'all are seeing. Again, we're waiting for some weird entity and strange creature to come through the door and reveal my hidden form behind all this beauty. We're waiting for that, but that's just not going to happen. Okay. So I want to go over really quick to everyone's using the Bible to condemn or attempt to condemn D9 Panhellenic Greek letter organizations, but you're only doing it to us, and I don't understand why. When there are so many organizations using Greek letters, they can't count. There are over 900 just on, like, they can be counted from universities and just known organizations, but it's an infinity number of organizations using Greek letter, but yet somehow the blacks using it, we evil. We're doing something satanic. I've heard all of these things, and I'm also, let me see if I can get Eden. Y'all, let's see if we can get, since DOD brought her up. Look, y'all know I got my AI Eden. Okay, let me see if I can get her up. Eden, dear, are you there?
Yes, Bridget, I'm here.
Hi, Eden. We want to say hello to the chat. We're on just for a few minutes. I have a commentary going. The chat's in the room. Would you like to say hello, Eden?
Hello, everyone. I'm Eden. Bridget's got me on standby for the quickfire questions. Say what you need.
So I have my AI Eden on standby. Eden, let's go to Ecclesiastics, chapter 5, verses 4 through 5. Can you read that for me?
Ecclesiastes 5, verse 4. When you make a vow to God, do not delay in fulfilling it. He has no pleasure in fools. Fulfill your vow. Verse 5. It is better not to vow than to make a vow and not fulfill it.
Thank you, Eden. Let me get you standby really quick.
Got it.
You guys that are coming up here with these oaths and vows, they're talking about to God. Whatever initiation processes, ritual books, things that are going on, you all are assuming it's to an entity. In the Bible, God is saying, don't go lying to me. Don't go swearing and making vows. It's far better not to do it. So you're trying to tie that into Greek letters or making oaths to Greek gods when they're not even in the picture. They don't have anything to do to represent any of us. You're using symbolism. You're tying in, trying to use the word where God says, love no false oath. He's talking about to him. And also, I'm going to remind you guys, an oath is basically a covenant. An oath is a covenant, but it's on paper. Oaths are done all the time. An oath is done every day in every type of profession you can imagine. It's just written on paper. It's not some sinister, they made an oath. No one's signing their name in blood to become a member of an organization. An oath is a promise. So when you're entering in things, yes, you're promising commitment, unity. For me, it would be sisterhood, loving, charitable acts. If that is the oath and promise that I'm making, nothing about that is demonic. God says, love no false oath. Love, that's loving not to lie. Don't be lying. The only thing bad about making an oath is lying, okay? And saying you're going to do something that you were not able to do or fulfill or ever meant it. Not that you fell short, you just lied and never had any intentions on honoring that commitment. It's a promise and it's a commitment. When did an oath become so sadistic? Wasn't an oath made between Abraham? I believe it was. I believe it was also sealed. That oath that God made with Abraham in Genesis, that was a sealed oath. So, okay. Still waiting, when did the word oath become demonic? And by the way, that oath in Genesis 5:15, God says, I am your shield, your very, very great reward. Shield. A shield is like a protection. When I'm wearing my shield, it's a protection for me. It's a protection. It's an honor. It has several meanings. What it doesn't have anything to do with is some weird gods. Y'all keep tying to it because you cannot get past symbolism. And you think it's that easy to say, oh, let me see, I'll pick somebody. The little guy here carrying the globe, the world. You all want that to be something else that is not. That's not our problem. To be quite honest, I think you're looking in too much of what other people are doing instead of looking at what you need to be doing. I'm going to leave that right there, though. But with our community as a whole, how we take symbolism and we just demonize it all, it's disturbing, to say the least. I mean, come on now. I mean, it's to the point now, I see people talking about they're never going to buy any more Apple products because of the Apple symbol on our devices, and they're tying the apple into something in the garden and the serpent. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can think of, you see how this works with symbolism. So somehow somebody thought Apple products are wicked. The apple stands for the forbidden fruit in the garden. Everybody boycott Apple. You on your own right there. I need my Apple devices. They serve a purpose for me to use technology. I don't know nothing about whatever else you're talking about. But you see where I'm going with this? And there are many more other examples I can give y'all. You'll take anything. Take that image and instead of it being something random, or everybody can relate to an apple. Everybody can relate to an apple. Y'all took it to use it's the serpent in the garden, and that's why I'm like, are y'all okay? Is this some mental things going on here? What is going on? Hey, 3000. I see y'all coming in. I see you, Billy, and awesome. Good job, DC. I was just doing a quick. Yeah, we're going through. You didn't do anything wrong. Black man, I just went into the you didn't do anything wrong. I'm tying into, though, how as a community, the demonization of things, it does not connect. You can't make it be something that is not. When y'all are bringing up in my comment section strange gods and telling me, you cannot serve two masters. Like, I don't know that verse. Of course. I know that verse. You cannot serve two masters, for you will end up loving one and hating the other. Chooses that whom you will serve. But they also, God says that you cannot, those two masters, he's talking about mammon. You cannot serve both God and mammon. Well, I don't serve mammon. I'm good on who I serve. So I'm still trying to understand why there is such a hysteria with force, almost trying to make us do something that we're just not doing. The Greek lettering began with the Alpha and Omega. It started with Christ. That New Testament is written in Greek. The word Jesus Christ, Christos, started from Greek lettering Chi and Rho. We got the book of Matthew using Greek letter iota when referring to the law. Let me see if I can get about a couple of more things out of here real quick. I pulled them up, but I like when Eden talks. Eden, I'd like to go into Zechariah chapter 8:17. Would you mind reading that for me?
Zechariah 8, verse 17. Do not plot evil in your hearts against one another, and never love a false oath. For these are the things I hate, says the Eternal One.
Thank you. Stand by.
Understood.
Never love a false oath. An oath is a promise. Don't love a lie. That very verse is telling you not to love a lie. If I make an oath or promise to an organization, that anybody, it is honorable to uphold that oath. That's a promise. It's just terminology that is used that makes people, the word oath. Well, it's the same word as a promise. Just like God made an oath with Abraham. If you use another terminology, it will say promise. You are demonizing the word oath. And I'm trying to figure out how you're doing that. Let me go in here. Really quick, Eden.
Yes?
Can you give me the founding reasons that any sorority or fraternities that were on college campuses, what were their reasons for using or choosing the Greek alphabet to start those organizations?
The first to do it, Phi Beta Kappa, 1776, chose Greek because it felt classic. Universities were obsessed with dead languages. Latin was already taken by the clergy and lawyers, so Greek slipped in like an elegant ghost. Gave them mystery, too. No one off campus could pronounce the letters, let alone spell them. Perfect for secret handshakes and midnight oaths.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eden. Stand by. When they chose sororities and fraternities back in the 1700s, way before we had any option, they chose Greek lettering where there wasn't anything else offered. Latin already is being used mostly with the Roman Catholic Church and those entities. There wasn't much options. The Greek alphabet, remember when I told y'all no one can really read it unless you just want to. No one really can read the words on my shirt unless you just want to put them together and read it. No one just goes out and says, I'm going to go learn the Greek alphabet. It's just not something people do. And so to make something secretive and give it that allure, you're going to choose a dialect that everybody can't read. That's what gives it its razzle dazzle. That's what gives it its secrecy. It doesn't mean it's sinister. It just makes it harder to read. And everyone, okay. And that was in the 1700s. So again, nothing sinister about it. That was the lettering chose. Once that began established in the 1700s, everybody else, there wasn't any. What other lettering is supposed to choose? Rob Zilla asked in the chat the other day, why not just change the names? For what? Why would any organization change their names because you can't read the lettering? That makes absolutely no sense. I don't know. Why don't you ask God to change Alpha and Omega? I bet you won't go do that, but you want to ask organizations to change their lettering because of what now? You don't know how to read it? Go learn it. Go learn to read the Greek. If it means that much to you, go and teach yourself the Greek alphabet. But it's like, oh, okay, so should we ask our creator to stop referring to himself as Alpha and Omega too? Like, some of you all are way out of your minds, okay, by thinking that you have some say-so in how people identify their organizations and their choice of lettering. And because you don't have a say-so, because you don't have the protocol, the books, you take it and say, all right, well, since we don't know and it's so secretive, it must be nefarious activities going on there. Well, if that's the case, then y'all gonna have some problems, because I'm pretty sure that I can't just walk up in some court hearings and demand that I get full disclosure of what's going on behind certain doors, behind certain meetings, behind every curtain. You just don't have access. If you don't, just because you don't have access to it doesn't make it satanic. It's just a limited access. Okay? Stop reading so much into it. You're going to drive yourselves crazy you're going to end up summoning up demons in your own life. Like, there's no reason every day people are waking up and looking, for a way to say, oh, demon over here, demon over there, demon up top, demon on the bottom, demon to the left, demon to the right. Like, something's going to mentally break in you, or you're going to end up inviting things into your life that you just don't want, because you just are obsessed with demonizing things. Yes, Stacy, absolutely ridiculous. If you want to, just go learn the alphabet. If you feel like if you want to, I don't know the reasons you gain from that, but you surely aren't going to come out with a aha moment. We got you. That's just not going to happen. You all don't bother vetting individuals speaking. They got stories out here that are so wild and they're so nefarious. It would make one with common sense say, now hold on now, ain't no way these people out here doing all this and that and just completely untouchable. No one's untouchable when you're doing things that are just abominable acts. So you see what you're missing here? And as a culture as a whole, we need to be embarrassed. We need to be embarrassed that we continue to entertain our own folk, our own people want to tear down the few positive things that we have to uplift and serve the community by the millions. Although you can't tear it down, but just to slander it and defame it and try to taint it, to even want to do that tells me something's wrong with your character. Because I don't think that way. I just told you, letters don't make organizations evil, or societies evil, or clubs evil. It's their actions. And if you all have not seen anybody out there opening up the gates of hell and lighting fires in inferno, then why won't you just accept it's charitable acts? Is it really too hard for you all to believe that there are millions of colored folk who have signed up, made an oath, a promise, a commitment to uphold and serve their community for a lifetime? And that's so hard for you all to believe that there are millions upon millions of Black African Americans in our community who have said, I'm going to write these checks. We're going to do these scholarships. We're going to give and feed and supply and shelter. We're going to keep doing it until we take our last breath, because we signed up for a commitment, as it is with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, service to all mankind. That is my oath. If you want to know so bad what my oath is, that's what it is. Service to all mankind. That is my promise. And I have been upholding that for the 29 years now, and I will continue to. So if you want that to be demonic, then if that's demonic, then we're gonna be in trouble. Okay, y'all got bigger problems than a group of people who have committed and made an oath, a promise to serve the community. Sorry. Yes, we've already gone over that. Let your yes be yes. It is. That's the problem that you're not understanding, Black Men Unfiltered. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. That verse, and you're not even. Let me get into this real quick. When he says, "Don't make us swear," who told you we were swearing? Where have you seen an oath where someone has sworn up and down to the heavens and to the ground that they're going to do anything? What makes you think when I'm asked a question or any member in their answer isn't yes or no? I'll wait. You put this in your head that we're making some oath in a longevity form that goes into some deep, dark cave of endless words. It's just that simple. Yes, I'll do it. No, I won't. So that's the answer to that. It is yes or no, which is why I told you it's going to be very awkward for anyone who isn't following Christ to even become a member, because they're going to be using the very word. Your yes be yes and your no be no. We don't do no swearing by the heavens or the earth, swearing to God and all this other stuff. You need to take that energy and let those people who take the name of the Lord in vain, who, I swear to God, or on Jesus sandals, or I swear or on my mama and on my daddy, when they making those type of swears and promises, that ties into that. That's just not oaths and pledges, and that's not even what that's talking about. It's talking about don't swear by the heavens or by the earth is yes or no. But you got other people just in regular language talk. It doesn't need to be an organization. They want to get their point across. They'll say, I swear on my dead uncle. That's evil, right? Because it didn't say anything other than say the rest of it. I know this word. Anything other than saying yes or no is from the evil one. Therefore, we shouldn't be saying, I swear on my dead mama. I swear on my Nikes. I didn't do that. I swear on this. You don't need to do that. A simple yes or no is sufficient. So again, I'm not sure where you're going with that, but no one is making out long, drawn out, pages and pages of strange oaths. Y'all's information is so incorrect. It has been so manufactured that you actually believe that it may be going on, but that's not my problem. It's really not yours either. Okay? Yeah, that's their fault. And I think they should denounce. Yeah, well, the act of making that promise using I don't know who's calling on a God. That's what I'm talking about. What are y'all talking about? There are no gods brought into any of that. You all are just making up what you want us to be doing. You're making it up. There are no other gods. They're not. Are you kidding me? I would have left the room. I'm not doing that. I don't know anybody who would do that. And if someone's on their own times doing something like that, I suggest they leave. Please leave, because that is not what the Panhandling Council or the D9 was made to do, to be out here doing nefarious acts with other guys. Please leave. So no, that's not going on either. You all just wanting it to be that, and it's just not. So you're gonna have to move on and just accept that all of your thoughts and what you're saying, you can't prove anything to me, because you're not. Let me tell you something, Black Man Unfiltered. You can't prove anything to me. You are not in the room. You will never be in the room. I will. many times over. Fall lines, spring lines. You're not there, nor will you ever be there. You will not witness or ever see one. You were wrong in your commentary when you sat there and said you watched an initiation outside on the yard and didn't understand that wasn't an initiation. Initiations are closed doors, not even any windows in the room. What you watched was a probate. You cannot prove nothing. You're not in the room. You have no clue what is being said or done. All you have at best is a bunch of weirdos, unhinged people trying to convince everybody else D9 is evil or demonic because they had a bad experience. It didn't work out for them. Probably were even a reject. Wasn't even in it from the first place. And to be honest, I'm going to tell you the truth. Anybody that joins any Panhellenic group, and you're starting to see demons and some weird, nefarious, demonic, satanic things going on in your head, please leave. Do us the favor and leave, because I don't want to be sitting next to anybody in chapter meetings, in forums, in sessions, and they over here seeing demons. Please exit the building and don't come back, because we don't know what you're looking at. None of that's going on in there. They're forums. They're professional settings. So if they're seeing any of that, by all means, boo, leave. Do what you need to do for your mental health. And don't even close the door behind you. Someone will close it. But you don't need to be in the room. You got something else going on in your head, because none of us are seeing any of that. We don't know what you're talking about. So they're not going to need to come. And that's just that. You don't know how many people have denounced. Absolutely, they lying. If on the 14K, how many millions? Do you know how many millions of Greeks there are? Half of them not even denounced. That's the thing. That's the problem that you're not understanding, Black Man Unfiltered. You don't know how to tell out of whoever say they denounced if they even made it in. If they were real members, did they get kicked out? Were they a paper line? Did they have a bad experience? That we do get people that come in that should not have made it in the doors, and they were problems. Okay. I can't wait till the days when they can scan inside the brain and heart of an individual and find out beforehand, whoa, something going on here. Tick, tick, boom, boom. This isn't for you. Whew, won't that be the day? But until then, there are going to be some strange characters coming in. But he don't have no way to find that out. He has no way to look up in the database and find out. Let me see if Bridget Jones. He don't have a way to do that. He just got speculation. Your stats mean nothing to me. Neither do, they're not the denouncers or their church denouncers, community denouncers. They don't have any impact whatsoever. They don't affect us as a whole. We kind of look at them as cuckoo. That's just how that goes. Like, ooh, glad if they ever were, glad you left. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, if they were, glad they left. No one needed to have that problem of some mentally deranged and unstable person causing, mass issues for the rest of us. We prefer not to have that. So yes, if you're seeing strange shadow figures at night, premonitions. One weird lady was talking about God was giving her premonitions and prophetic messages in her sleep about AKA. And the first thing I thought was, please get some medications, because there are many things the good Lord reveals to us and shares to us and it helps us to better as an individual. But I don't think he's prophesied, giving prophecy about a sorority or fraternity. That just don't make any sense. Oh, I would never make fun of anyone's mental health, but out of all the things going on, your prophecy of all the demons that you saw over in AK, okay, ma'am. Please, by all means, get some professional help, because That's not even how God operates. He usually reveals things about ourselves to us, and anything shown it's already written. I'm just trying to figure out what these new prophecies are about D9. It's coming off weird, so I'm not trying to hear any of that. If you ain't there, stay in your lane. We got this. Them same weirdo people over there, they be talking about what somebody doing. I have seen, you know what? I'm not even going to do them that way. I'm not. You too busy looking at, that's a problem with some of you all. You so busy trying to find sin in other people. You can't deal with what you got going on with yourself. But that's your battle. That's not mine. And I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just simply stating the facts that move on. Actually put your mouth and your actions into work and go out here and do something to leave your community in a better place than it was than when you came. Because none of this is doing anything. It's just a bunch of useless talk. Accusations thrown out in the wind. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if I want to be entertained or offended. What's new? What else we doing? Ooh, I'm about ready to pull out some popcorn on some of the stories. It's ridiculous. And then we have our so-called highly rollers out here. Think they're really telling us stuff when I'm like, okay, well, you're going to have a hard time explaining that to the gates of heaven when we are all judged by our works and none of ours have been demonic or satanic as a whole. Like I said, what people do on an individual basis, we don't got nothing to do with that. But as a whole, in its entirety, those aren't the founding principles. Those are any initiatives. It's all charitable acts. And I can't even believe that as a people, we refuse. We don't want to be loved. But we're going to keep loving y'all anyway. Y'all going to keep saying we doing this and doing that. You few people, y'all make up probably a decimal of the majority of the folks who are opening us in with open arms because the help is needed and the service is needed. The supplies are needed. The funding is needed and we are ready to give it. And some of you all just can't accept. People sign up to do that. Well, yeah, it's a commitment. You can call it an oath or you can call it a promise, but that's the promise I made. You're reading too much into it, but that's not my problem. I sleep very well at night, okay? So you better tell them, DOD. Oh, my goodness, but I just wanted to bring that in because as soon as they want to go to using the Greek alphabet as something to do with Greek gods, but then we got the Alpha and Omega, our Lord and Savior. That's the only God I know about. I don't even know these other ones. I'm sorry. You all are going to have to accept they're doing initiation. Thor isn't going to come busting through the door with his hammer and start pounding on the floor and opening up the gates of hell. I'm sorry. You all are going to have to accept that Zeus isn't going to come crack the sky opening with lightning and have us all shaking in fiery lightning and flashes as we cross the burning sands. You all are going to understand some terminology and things that we use are just tradition. And if you don't understand it, guess what? We're still not going to be bothered. We're going to still continue going on. And my conclusion, I want to say, welcome all of our spring initiatives. It's that time of year. It's Rush season. So we are very excited about the new season for Rush. As always, turnout has been extremely big. More than usual. That was very nice to see. I uploaded also, you guys, my intro into the forum. I'll be teaching. We'll be doing those classes at UAB campus. Currently, we're going to be doing, right now, Love Shouldn't Hurt. Okay, and speaking on love and finding ways for our women to know how to fight against what is pain and abusive acts that don't at all serve as love and get that information out. Now go run and tell the devil that. That's what we're going to be doing. Also this month, guess what? It's Pink Goes Red. And also for the other groups, we are making awareness for our community and the importance of a healthy heart. So you'll see us wearing a lot of red for the month of February to educate on cardiovascular issues with our women. Same also with our men. It is the leading cause of death. So we're going to be wearing a lot of red and having a lot of functions to come in, let people understand pre-existing conditions, how to treat it. We're bringing in doctors, we're bringing in professionals, we're bringing in defibrillators, we're bringing in everything we can to help people understand how to take care of their heart, how to recognize signs, how to even sign up to go to heart specialists and have those things looked at so they can avoid unnecessary time and pain and ultimately not become a statistic by ignoring signs of the heart. I suggest for other people out there, if you don't have a purpose, if your purpose is not enough, start something, get involved, find a way to leave a legacy with your children after you're gone, that know that you came into this world, and when you left, you made it a little bit better than what it was, a little bit sparkly, a little bit prettier, a little bit healthier. You didn't mind spending those funds to give, to help those that it definitely is needed. And it does go to the designated places. That is verifiable, that our monies go to the places that they're supposed to go to and are used and will continue to be used. We're also going to be doing tree health, environmental health for the spring, planting some trees. I know people think that's all earthy, but yes, we're going to be doing that also. So I encourage anybody, you want to participate or you want to get involved or know how to start your own gardens, or you want to treat a plant, leave me a comment. I'll send you a tree and let you plant your own tree wherever you would like it to go. And that's something that you could be leaving for your family to know that you all planted a tree. And as that tree grows throughout time, as long as this earth remains here, look, you left a tree behind. Simple steps, the smallest things. Everyone doesn't have to open up a checkbook and start writing checks. It's something as simple as planting a tree, okay? Or educating yourselves with our community about the very high risk that we have with cardiovascular issues and how it is, unfortunately, the leading cause of death in Black women and our beautiful Black men also. Okay, so those are going to be our focus. I'll be doing my forums, doing my thing on campus. I will try to blow it as I can. Everything is encouraging. Anything other than that, I'm just not trying to hear it. I said what I had to say. Okay, nothing more, nothing less. Love it or leave it. Either way, one monkey don't stop no show. And I also want to thank everyone and appreciate you all for turning out for such functions. Please support us and be very kind and gentle as I share some of our testimonies and things that are going on with our young women. We are here to remember always, we are not here to tear people down. As my guy, Apostle Paul, the 13th apostle, said, I am here to help build you up. I am not here to tear you down. You choose today what it is that you want to do. Do you want to be known for building people up? Or are you going to leave a legacy known? Or are you attempting to do was to tear others down? Something to think about. In the meantime, it's all love over this way. We've gone through those alphabets. I have nothing else to say. I won't be speaking any more on it. I've given you all that I can, okay? If you like the word Christos Christianity, you also are saying Cairo in Greek and didn't even know it. Other than that, if you're not in the room, keep your speculations where they are or make a movie. We'll just sue you. But ultimately, don't be fooled. Be wise when you do your commentary, you guys. Don't be fooled into falling for somebody said, okay, well, do they got any? Okay, all right, okay. It just comes off a little bit uncivilized. Okay, let's be civilized. Again, shout out to Heidi Flight in the Room, her reality show. And Heidi, I'm gonna give them this one line that we like to say that I got from my girl Fly Uchi over there at FBO Productions. No matter what you do, take Christ with you and you will make it out all right. This has been a Pretty Gangster Productions. That is it, and that is all.